Hey, what's going on, everyone? Greg here, and the new iPad mini almost had me excited. It was just so close, and I'm sure a lot of you are going to watch this video and be left with the same earth-shattering disappointment I was left in after reading all the rumors and leaks about the iPad mini 6, or maybe, just maybe, you'll leave with some hope. A new hope. So if you haven't heard the rumors yet, there's a couple of them floating around there, so let me get you started. So, for the 2021 iPad mini, it sounds like this update is at least going to be slightly better than the last time we got an update to the iPad mini. The last update we had to the iPad mini was in 2019 in the form of the iPad mini 5, which featured the same design as the iPad mini 4, which came out in September of 2015. Yeah, it took Apple a whole 4 years to update the iPad mini, and it didn't even receive a significant design upgrade, but instead focused on upgrades to bumping up the processor to a respectable A12 processor and bringing in over Apple Pencil support to the iPad mini. And as little as that update was, that in itself was significant to me because before Apple updated the iPad mini, I thought that it was going to be discontinued, and even after the update, I thought the effort into it was just so small that it could possibly be the last iPad mini update we ever saw. However, now we are hearing about two conflicting leaks and rumors, one that has me excited and one that has me a little underwhelmed. So the first set of rumors is what I initially believed the iPad mini update would be more like, with a redesign with much slimmer bezels, and we even have a render out of XLeak 7, which he says is based on the CAD designs of the future iPad mini that feature a full screen design. And XLeak 7 actually doesn't have a bad track record per se. When you look at some of his leaks regarding Android devices like the Pixel 4, Pixel 5, and Galaxy Note 20, his 3D renders based on CAD designs were largely accurate. But the only problem is he doesn't have a solid track record of leaking Apple devices, which, let's be honest, that seems to be harder to come by for more accurate leaks than whatever the Android manufacturers have thrown around out there. Those seem to leak very easily nowadays. But let's give him the benefit of the doubt for now, and in this leak, the iPad mini 6 will be getting a larger 9.1-inch display while having the same dimensions as the iPad mini 5. Touch ID would be incorporated into the display. Apparently, the thickness of the device will also increase by 0.15 millimeters, but besides that slightly thicker body, the shape of the old iPad mini would look kind of the same. It would not feature the flatter redesign of the recent iPad Air and iPad Pro, which also means that there's no smart connector on the back and there's no magnetic charging area for the Apple Pencil 2, which also means that the iPad mini still comes with a Lightning port, so it can be compatible with the first generation Apple Pencil. And according to this render by XLeak 7, there will also be a hole punch camera, and again, Touch ID would be placed under the display, which is currently also a rumor for the next iPhone. But honestly, the fact that there's a hole punch camera in this design is the biggest red flag to me, as Apple has yet to implement a device with a hole punch camera, and I feel like if Apple was going to make an iPad mini with a reduced bezel, it would look way more similar to the current design on the iPad Air and the iPad Pro, and thus have a thicker uniform bezel that was able to fit the camera in that bezel area. So while I'm not confident in this exact leak, we also have heard similar rumors before about a redesign for the iPad mini, and this render is basically an iPad mini that would be closer to a version that I would want. An iPad mini with a much bigger screen, which XLeak 7 says will be about 9 inches, but coming in the same form factor as the current iPad mini. that is what I am looking for with an update to the iPad mini 6. Although, again, I would much prefer it to have the same design as the new iPads with the flat sides, compatibility for the second generation Apple Pencil, and offer other benefits like stereo speakers on either side of the device, and the device just looking better in general than what the current design is. However, we might not get either of those design changes mentioned above because there's also a competing rumor about the design of the iPad mini 6, and this is just what is zapping all the excitement I had for this upgrade. So, according to Mako Takara, the iPad mini will be getting a smaller redesign than what we initially expected. Mako Takara expects the iPad mini 6 to retain most of the bezels of the older iPad mini, and it will still have a top forehead and a bottom chin. Now, while it won't remove the top and bottom bezels, it will still incorporate a bigger 8.5-inch display into the device by shrinking the side bezels, kind of like they did with the 2017 iPad Pro and 2019 iPad Air. So the bezels on the side would be razor thin, but the top and bottom bezels would still be pretty prominent. The iPad mini 6 would still come with a regular home button with Touch ID built in, and like the previous rumor, it would still retain the Lightning port for compatibility with the first generation Apple Pencil. So yeah, as you can tell, this report from Mako Takara is much less ambitious than the previous two redesigns we just covered, and we would only be getting a slight redesign to the iPad mini by just shrinking the side bezels and extending the screen just 0.5 inches, and that to me is a lot less exciting than what I thought we would get with an iPad mini that looked more like the modern iPad designs and the modern iPhone designs. I really thought Apple was moving all of their products towards that design direction, but with these rumors from Mako Takara, it looks like we might still just get another budget iPad mini. Now, the only thing that does give me some hope is that Mako Takara's track record is not 100% accurate with the leaks that they've put out in the past. And they've gotten some important device details very wrong in the past. So while they do have a semi-accurate track record, it is far from 100% certainty if this will truly be the final iPad mini design we get. Now, one thing we can look forward to for sure is updated chips in the iPad mini, and I think we could possibly see it go all the way up to an A14 chip because the iPad Air has this chip as well. And the last time Apple updated the iPad mini in 2019, it launched right alongside an updated iPad Air 3, and both of them featured the same exact A12 processor. So if Apple is consistent in their updates, it's very likely we will see that same A14 processor inside of the iPad mini, as well as the current iPad Air 4. As for when you can expect the iPad mini 6, all rumors are currently pointing towards a March release date. And while we don't have any rumors on the cost of this device, I think we can expect it to cost around the same price as the current iPad mini, which retails for $400. And it won't be the only iPad being updated during that time frame, with Apple also rumored to be bringing an update to the regular size iPad with reduced bezels on the side, a slimmer body, and a bigger 10.5-inch display. And we are also expecting to see an update to the iPad Pro with a brand new mini LED display and an A14X chip that will bring boost to the multi-core and graphics performance to the high-end iPad lineup, which it desperately needs because, again, the current iPad Air has an A14 chip in it, and the current iPad Pro has an A12Z chip, so it's technically two chip generations behind. But anyway, that's all we know about the rumors for the brand new iPad mini 6. Please let me know in the comments below. What rumors do you believe about the iPad mini? Do you believe in a bigger design refresh with reduced bezels? Or do you think it will be a smaller update? And which design update would you ultimately prefer? Also, if you like this video, be sure to give me a like. If you want to see more from my channel, well, make sure you're subscribed. If you want to help the channel out in any way, make sure you check out the links in the description. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, everyone.